My click-throughs are low, my views on my sales page are low, my conversions are low. Nobody's clicking through my emails even though I have a lot of people in my email list. So if you have a lot of people here, but they kind of taper off when they visit your sales page, now there is a problem in this area right here. There might be a lot of friction when it comes to leading them from your email list, from your emails, your daily content to your actual purchase page. There are three things going on, but firstly, I want to preface that whenever you diagnose a problem, whenever you want to solve a bottleneck, you want to make sure that you have your data right. So you got to understand the numbers. Click-through rate. How many people are clicking through from your email list to your sales page? From that, you also need to know how many people are actually in your email list, how much traffic you're naturally getting on your sales page, and how many are from this. And you also need to know the bounce rate, which is the percentage of people that visited your sales page but they bounce off for some reason. If you know this, you understand which one is the problem. Is it the email, is it the sales page, or is it both? In this case, we are going to discuss the friction between leading people from the email newsletter to the buy page. But first off, you have to understand all these numbers in order to diagnose accurately which one is the problem that you need to prioritize. If you have a low bounce rate, it means when people go to your sales page, they rarely bounce. You have a really good rate of buyers whenever they land on your sales page. You have a large number of people in your email list, then this will be a bottleneck. There's actually three things that is happening right now. Number one is very tiring to read your email to the bottom. And usually people have their call to actions way at the bottom. I've seen this in many high ticket sales pages where the product is so high ticket, 10K, 15K. It doesn't mean that you need to have a complex sales page. When you have a complex sales page, meaning you're using a lot of fancy words, this is going to cause friction. I'm going to use this as the friction symbol. Spacing is also a visual element that needs to be fixed. If you have really tight spaces, it's going to weigh very heavily on the eyes and it's going to, at first glance, be really daunting to read. So if you have a high bounce rate on your sales page, take a look at how easy it is for your audience to read your sales page, and it needs to be a fresh pair of eyes. And what I always tell people to do is to always, for every sentence, press return or press enter. So press enter after every sentence. I got this from James Wetmore, who is an incredible online marketer. And the reason why he does this is so that there's a lot of white space in between each sentence. And number one, it doesn't look as daunting as a block of text like this. And number two, you can pace yourself when you are reading. It's less scary to read one sentence at a time, than to read a whole block of letters. This is one of the reasons why people don't read books. Books are daunting, books are scary. So if you read books, you have to empathize with people who don't read books. It's really scary at first glance to read this much block of text. So space it out in every single sentence and watch your sales friction disappear. And this is like adding lubricant to your engine or something. It makes it buttery smooth. I need to preface this by saying this is what's happening in the email newsletters. The second thing that could be happening is you have too many buttons, too many links. Now, when you have a lot of buttons in your newsletter, how do you think people will see which offer you want to get clicked on? If you have 3 buttons, and whenever I read some coaches' newsletters or some consultants' emails, whenever they put a lot of links, a lot of times it's not even relevant to the offer that they're selling. One link is a social post, other link is an article that they wrote on their industry newsletter, and then they have one teensy tiny link for their own offer. Now, how do you think this will go when it comes to selling your offer? The worst case scenario, they'll get confused, right? This is your audience drooling because I have no idea where to click. The best case scenario is they have split decisions and they give very little time to each link and very little thought to each of your buttons. And think about the last time you open an email. Whenever you are reading an email and you are clicking a link, think about how much time you spend on each link. Think about how much time you actually even have to explore that person's sales page or whatever they link to. So you have to keep all these things in mind. As much as possible in your email, this is really important. You need to have crystal clear clarity. You need to have one link. That email needs to be about one topic of discussion and it needs to have one insight. This is the format that I ask my clients to follow, and this is the money-making format. You have one topic of discussion, you leave them with one clear insight, and most importantly, you leave them with one link so that it's not confusing and you increase the amount of people jumping from your email list leading to your sales page. This is what we want right here. I have no idea why a lot of people they tend to want to confuse their audience just because they saw other people doing it in their newsletter, and so they just follow the herd, which is really bad for your conversion rates. And finally, the third thing that's reducing your click-throughs, it's actually the most important thing: what's in it for me? So every time you want somebody to perform an action that you want them to do, you have to give them what's in it for me. What's in it for them to click on your link? Is it going to solve their problem? Is it going to give them a small win towards their dream outcome? Why should I listen to you? What are the benefits? And a simple format that I like to use in my call to actions, and I always put it in the PS, is struggling with blank. This is the problem they're facing. You might like your offer that helps you do blank. Give them a small win, give them clarity, give them a brand new insight, shows them how to get their desired outcome themselves. Click here to learn more. Literally one single button. And this is the formula that you can use. You want to give them a compelling enough reason to click on your offer. And it really baffles me on how a lot of people, when they're selling the product or when they are writing an email, they're writing content, they literally just tend to forget that at the end of the day, what you're doing is you're helping people solve their problem. And it always comes back to the problem no matter what. You always have to give them a what's in it for them. Give them a good enough reason and they will take any action you put in front of them. So as a summary, number one, you have to make sure it's visually not daunting to read. Don't use fancy words. Put it through AI or Hemingway editor and edit it down to a third grade reading level. Even though they're inside your industry or even though they understand a little bit of your vernacular, you cannot assume that people understand all of the things you understand. And also take into account how you read emails. You don't want to read an email with a dictionary in hand and keep searching all these words that need a lot of effort to understand. You want to make it as easy for them as possible to read your email and go to your sales page. And also an added tip from James Wetmore, you want to press enter, you want to press return for every single sentence so that there's a lot of white space. And people read one sentence at a time, it doesn't look as daunting, and they can read at your own pace comfortably. Number two, don't put too many links. You have one single link, one single topic of discussion, and one insight and learning point to make sure that they still like you and they still see you as a knowledgeable person that they can take advice from. Finally, always answer the question, what's in it for me? Always have this in mind whenever you're starting to write any piece of content, including email, including your sales page, etc., etc. And the formula that I always use is always struggling with blank. You might like offer that helps you blank. Make it a huge button or make the button occupy a lot of space. So those are the things that you can look out for if your click-throughs are low. So thank you so much for watching. I have been Raden again. Hopefully this helps you. If you want to siphon more buyers from your email list and get them to your sales page, I can do it for you for free. I'll give you 20 samples of very low commitment, short and punchy emails that siphons buyers from your email list. If you're interested in that, email the word sample, literally just the word sample, to raden@repricedigital.com. No need formalities. I'll ask you some questions about your offer. You give me all the links of your funnel and your offer, and I'll do research after 3 days. I'll send you the first 5 emails for your review, and then we can start a daily email campaign absolutely free. Alternatively, I have a content calendar down below that you can check out and start a daily email campaign yourself so you can siphon buyers from your email list. I've been Raden. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.